You're watching SKS
Radio, and you are tuned in to the Cammie Grayson Show. And I am Cammie Grayson, and I have a very special person with me today. I always say a friend, but I can't say a friend because this is my baby. This is my niece, Varonika Wilson. Welcome to the show.
Hello, everyone. Hello.
How you doing, girl?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for asking. I just want to say thank you so much for just having me and allowing me to be on your show. I am so proud of you.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. I'm proud of you. You're talking about proud. I'm looking at you doing all your community work and single parent with your kids and just doing what you do, girl. So tell people who you are and how you got started.
Hi, everybody. My name is Varonika Wilson, born and raised in Dallas, Texas, 36 years old.
Dang, you know.
A product of, I know, right? A product of West Dallas, by way of Oak Cliff. Grandparents raised me once my mom transitioned. I work currently right now. I work for Bank of America. I'm an assistant vice president there. I've been in data analytics for over 15 years. Been doing community service work pretty much all my life. Working now currently with a company called Urban Specialists, where I do a lot of community service work, and then I spearhead their data analytics.
Wow. Girl, you smart. That's what smart people do.
It run in the family, right? And then, so it's so much, Amy, that I hadn't told you, but one of my godmothers, she actually has a kid by Calvin McCoy. And
what?
Calvin McCoy, yeah. And Calvin McCoy is my mom. Yeah, it's my grandfather. And so she's been a part of my life now for about 15 years now. I met her about 15 years ago. And when we finally found out that she was my godfather, my grandfather's one of his girlfriends, and then she had a kid by him. She told me, she was like, you know what, you do the same thing, because she told me that Calvin McCoy spearheaded Manpower in South Dallas, and that he did a lot of community service work, and he was a social activist, and that he was a man of movement. And I was like, wow, because I never really figured out where that came from, because my mom passed so early, so I was just like, I don't know where it came from, but just wanting to give back and somebody helping me. So
right. Well, let me ask you this. So who is it's not Candy's mother?
No, it's not Candy's mom.
Kevin's
It's
mother?
What is her name? Her Shields. So the daughter's name is Shields. Morgan Shields is the granddaughter. Her name is Paulette Thompson. Do you know Paulette Thompson? Paulette Shields. She stayed on Indian Creek Trail in Oak Cliff.
Okay, because I was always with your grandfather. He was like my father.
Okay.
I was the baby.
Shannon. Her name is Shannon. Do you remember Shannon?
Shannon.
Her name was Shannon.
Mm-hmm. I'll look her up and see, because I knew Candace, I knew Calvin, and we all kind of grew up together. So I was wondering who she might have been.
Yeah,
wow,
Shannon.
How exciting! Mm-hmm. How exciting!
Yeah, I know.
Varonika. So first of all, you've been through a lot as a young kid growing up, and you were your grandparents on your dad's side, your grandmother. Your dad's side of the family really just stepped in and did what it took to get you to be the beautiful woman you are right now. And I just want to say thanks to them for making you and getting you through the obstacles that you had to go through in order to be this beautiful young lady that's sitting before me. So just, let your dad and your grandmother and all that side of the family know that it is appreciated.
Absolutely. Thank you. I will.
It is appreciated.
I definitely will.
And you being you, as humble as you are, I mean, you're the sweetest lady I know. I swear to God you are. You always think of other people, and I love you for that. I love you for that.
Thank you.
So now let's tell us about your community work.
So, um, I don't know. I think because my grandmother used to always tell me, she was just like, as a kid, she would say, "You just always helping somebody, or you always giving stuff
It's hard.
away." And can you hear me?
Uh
You
huh.
said you can hear me? Okay. And I was just like, Granny, I remember like when we were a kid growing up, and I remember like those families that used to help us, and like people that used to help us, even you, like you and Aunt Shala, and like, even though you had your own life and Shala had her own life, and my mom, she was hard headed. She just kind of wanted to do whatever it was that she
She
wanted to
would.
do. And you guys still tried to assist us when you could. And I just took that and I just ran with it. And I always, in the back of my mind, I always knew like, hey, Veronica, somebody helped you. So you got to give back. And that's what I do now. So working with urban specialists, I mean, every weekend is some type of community service event. We're in the process now of getting ready to give out 200 turkeys in
Wow.
Natchitoches, Louisiana. Just whatever it is that I can serve. Like I said, I have a business degree. I have my MBA in strategic management. So I'm privy to like a lot of business information. So now I give back a lot of business information, like whatever it is, if it's dealing with nonprofit, if it's dealing with LLCs, teaching people
Right.
how to get grant money. I have a senior. Ariel graduates in May, so I'm
What?
learning about
I'm
scholarships.
I'm getting old.
Yeah, so I mean, whatever I can do to add to, I'm just a servant of the Most High, and I just like to help people, no
Yeah.
matter what it is. Even if I don't have the knowledge, I'll go get it. I will go get the knowledge for you because, like I tell people, I mean, Annie, you know where I came from, and I tell people sometimes they're like, Veronica, you're so well spoken. I was like, I couldn't even read until I was like in the fourth, fifth grade. And I'm like, but look now, I graduated in the top of my class in my MBA program. I'm like, if you put your mind to it, you can do whatever it is that you
Yes.
want to do. You
Yes.
can obtain anything. And
Yes.
that's what I love to teach men, women, boys, and girls. I think my shift really happened when I started working with another program called Langford Avenue. Dr. Keisha Langford, she was my teacher at
Okay.
Townview in my freshman year, and she always used to just be so hard on me. And I was just like, oh, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go to school. I'm gonna do. But she never gave up on me. She always stayed consistent. She stayed consistent, and when I graduated, it's like the universe, God kept saying, I kept running back into it, and I'm like, why I keep running back into this lady? The last time I ran into her, she said, "Here, take my number down, call me. I got some stuff that I want you to start doing." So I got certified to become like a counselor up under her program. And I started teaching men and women. They came from prison, some state and federal prison, just how to get acclimated back into society. So I started teaching drug abuse classes, alcohol and awareness classes, domestic violence. And domestic violence was something that my mom dealt with.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
it just kind of started, I started saying, wow. I was like, God, you are so amazing. You are so strategic because now you are allowing my life to come back around full circle. And so I was actually able to heal the inner me from the outer me of the things that I was battling with through helping other people. And so that's kind
Hmm.
of like where that spark came from. And I just haven't stopped. I'm actually now in the nonprofit
Amazing.
sector, like learning how to transition from the corporate side to the nonprofit side because I'm actually able to do what it is that I love on the nonprofit side. And that's just give back and help and
Yeah.
serve. So that's what I
Well,
love
you're
doing.
the opposite. I started off corporate America, hated it.
Hmm.
Then I went into nonprofit. And then, of
Okay.
course, I had my own 501c3 working with the
Hmm.
kids, because I always love helping and giving back, love helping and giving back. And that came really from Granny.
Hmm.
Granny used to make me so mad. You were too little to remember this, but when Granny, she would cook like good meals, right?
Uh-huh.
You want to go back for seconds. Well, you can't go back for seconds because she done already sacked it up and gave it to the bums at the end of the corner.
Uh-huh.
And she would always give away food she's like, well, we're not going to eat it, and da 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 da, and she would give it to them because they were homeless, they were
Right.
hungry, and we didn't see them like that at first. It was like we kind of looked down on the homeless at one point, and when I realized a bell just ding, wake
Mm-hmm.
up, girl, and so when that bell happened, that helped me understand why my mom was doing what she was doing.
Right.
She didn't have much. She was right there in West Dallas. She didn't have much,
Mm-hmm.
but she had the heart to give what she could.
Right.
So that comes from that too.
Yeah, and
Your dad,
even with Miss Pat, you remember
even
Miss
with,
Pat and the Girls and
yeah,
Boys Club? Like when I would get to come over and get to see you all serving, and Miss Pat would have so much food, but she would always just be giving and giving. Here, take this, take that, you can have it. And I just was like, so it was seeds that were sown so long ago, and they just start manifesting themselves.
yeah, yeah, and when it stays in your heart, and I believe, like you said, that in between everybody that's been in your life. I mean, even Pam,
Oh yeah,
God,
absolutely.
your godmother loved you to
Hmm.
death. She loved her some Veronica. Boy, she loved you
Absolutely.
some
Even
Veronica,
still to this
and she
day,
still
we're
do, I
still
believe,
connected.
because I'm
Hmm.
always seeing her talking about her Veronica. So she loved her some Veronica. So she was always so you had that support, and that's great because sometimes people want to do more, but they can't really because they have their own stuff.
Hmm.
So to be able to, God put you where He needed you to be, put it that
Right.
way. And so I feel like where you are now, look at all the things you've accomplished.
Hmm.
Look at my baby. Look at her. She just flourishing, and she has a baby that's about to graduate, and the sweetest little boy is that you just have it. To me, you are so rich. You are so rich
Yeah.
in life, spirit. I mean, and I love it. I just love it. When I think of you, that's all I think about. I can't. Let me get all emotional. I think about when you came to my hotel room when I visited last time I was in Dallas,
Uh-huh.
and you brought the kids to see me. That was so special.
Hmm.
And we talked, and finally you was like, "Girl, I gotta go." But I appreciate that because we were able to catch up. We were able to
Absolutely.
discuss the family things that was going on,
Hmm.
and I felt good after that because that
Right.
way you only knew what you heard. You
Hmm.
didn't know. It's always two sides to a story. And
Right.
so you didn't know the side on this end and what had to happen and what had endured and why that person was in the situation they were in,
Right.
because you can only help so much. You can
That's
only
it.
help so much. And so when you get to the point, and this is my thing to you as my niece, when you get to the point where you feel like you've given all you can give,
Hmm.
stop and then start looking in the mirror
Hmm.
because you can give so much of yourself that you don't have enough left over for you.
Hmm.
So when that glass of water, when it's half filled, half empty, when that glass of water is going way past, think about yourself. Because if you don't help yourself, nobody else is gonna help you.
Right. Right.
Nobody's gonna be there for you. So take that deep breath and always know you got to take care of you first. So self
Right.
help, self healing is wonderful. And I think not even knowing this now, then is what I had to do,
Hmm.
right? To become the person I am and to continue to thrive and continue to do and give. And sometimes it's kind of like, wow, I did all that.
Yeah.
I got students that has graduated from college, that has danced at Grambling, has done all these different things in the community that I was a part of.
Hmm.
And that was my nonprofit. That was what I love doing.
Hmm.
And now I'm in corporate America, but you see where I'm at. I'm back doing my own thing.
Right.
Because
Right. Right.
sometimes you just have to do your own thing. I
Hmm.
still work full time, but at the end of the day, this is what I love doing. This is my passion. I love doing
Hmm.
this. I give just like you give your knowledge for nonprofit and all this stuff for the businesses. Well, I
Hmm.
interview businesses. People, your community thing that you're doing. That's what made me very excited. It was like, oh my gosh, my niece is just really blowing up in the community out there.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I absolutely love it, and I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I totally agree with
What's
you
wrong?
saying, no, with you saying that you have to stay connected to the surge because you
Oh,
can't
it
you
must
can't
be a
give out
delay.
energy. Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Amy? Hello?
I'm here.
Okay, so I was saying that I totally agree with you on what you were saying in reference to staying charged and not always giving too much of yourself. So I do make sure that I remind myself of that because, like you said, I have two more other human beings that I'm responsible
That's
for,
right. That's
and
right.
that's Ariel and August. So I also have to make sure that I have enough of me for them to make sure that as
Hmm.
a mom, I'm giving them everything that they need. And I just love that, we live in a space of togetherness and oneness. So anytime, I'm doing something, they're like, Mama, well, what is it you need from me? Even my 7-year-old son, it's like, okay, Mama, well, I'm going to serve and I'll pass this out and I'll do that. So I teach them, now. And sometimes on the weekends, they're like, Mama, what we doing this weekend? I'm like, nothing. We just watching movies. Like, we're going to rest. We're going to watch movies and we just going to talk and we just gonna digress from everything that we had going on throughout the week. So I totally agree with that. You definitely have to make sure that you're present and that you show up for yourself because you're not going to be able to give anybody anything that you can't give you.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. So tell us about your next project and what you're working on with with the nonprofits and
So right now we have I just also became a facilitator. So with urban specialists, we have a segue that's called the BOSOE. It's the Bishop's Omar School of Entrepreneurship, and it's a 12-week course for businesses. It's for businesses that's on startup and businesses that have already been in existence to become a part of our organization. And you go through a 12-week course of business, and it basically like gives you the entire business structure of whatever it is that your business is lacking. So I'm a facilitator with that. And the reason why I love that is because a lot of us, we just don't have our businesses set up the way that they need to. And this is like a space where it's a space of vulnerability. It's set up like a SMU business program. It's a free program, but you just have to be willing to dedicate 12 weeks. If you're
okay.
willing to dedicate 12 weeks to the program, I guarantee you'll get everything that you need. Even me, like I tell people, I have an MBA, and my undergrad is in entrepreneurship, but it was still some things that I was lacking in business and that I wasn't fulfilling and doing, and bookkeeping, making sure I'm staying on top of my marketing, make sure you're staying on top of your social media presence and all those things. And it teaches you and it revitalizes you in that magnitude, and you get to be in a room with people that is still having like those same struggles in places of vulnerability just like you. So that's what we have going on. I'll post the website to that, so whoever wants to go and follow the Instagram or the Facebook, or even register for our program, they can do that. And then now, since it's Christmas time and Thanksgiving, we have several Thanksgiving drives that we're doing, and then we
Mhm.
have several Christmas drives that we're doing where we're giving away toys and feeding the homeless and just helping. We
Nice.
have I know I was on the news maybe like, I think it's probably been like a month ago.
Yeah.
One of our coaches on our track team passed away. He got killed, and so it was a coalition that was created from that, where it's like we have to be responsible. If we see a situation transpiring, we have to choose to elevate ourselves higher, and we
Hmm.
have to be willing to say, "Hey, we're not doing that," or that's not this time or this place, because our kids are our future,
Right.
and we have to remember that they see what we do. So because they see what we do, we have to always make sure that we're living in love and light.
Right.
So just that initiative. We're partnering with Dallas Police Department. Chief Garcia just came and he spoke at one of our events that we had, because he's serious. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm not standing for this no more. He was like, we have to come together in these urban communities and these Latino communities. And we have to know, like, hey, we are all one. We all have our struggles. They may be a little different, but at the end of the day, we just all want to still be able to come back home to our families. And we want our families to be able to come back home to us too. So we've created a USD3 coalition with Chief Garcia, where we have a lot of the police involved, and we have a lot of the businesses, the nonprofits, and the for-profits involved with, hey, we're not standing for any, it's zero tolerance when it comes to negativity, when it comes to gun violence, when it comes to, anything that's disrupting the environment. We don't stand for it.
Right, right. Well, let me tell you, Miss Veronica Wilson, you are doing your due, girl. And I want to thank you for being on the show. I want to invite you back real
Absolutely.
soon, real soon. And we'll talk in a little bit. But thank you
Okay.
so much for being on the show. And I am going to make sure that we got your information listed on the website. So, because
Okay.
I still have plenty of people from Dallas that follow us. So I'm
Right.
hoping that family, my Dallas family, will pitch in and help you succeed in the things that you're doing to give back to the community. So
Absolutely.
I appreciate you so much for being on the show. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you. And even you, Amy, I mean, like whatever it is that you need. And I know, you're in a different state, but my organization will come down there. We will support you. If you put an event together, our CEO, he just wrote a book, Redemptive Activism, on how, his journey out of prison, and then how he went from being incarcerated to coming out here and helping and changing lives, and started the Urban Specialist Coalition. He's about to do a world tour.
Nice.
So he'll come, whatever it is that you need from us. Just don't know, this is not one way. This is full
Okay. Well,
circle.
yeah. You
So
know what?
whatever you need.
I have the artist network. I would. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you.
Okay. I have an artist network. I would love to have him and interview him about
Absolutely.
his book.
I'll send his
Most
information to
definitely.
you.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you go. And thank you so
Okay.
much for spending your Saturday with your auntie. I just love you, love
Thank you.
you,
I love
love
you,
you.
Amy.
I
I'm
know I'm embarrassing.
so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Thank you
I'm
so
proud
much.
of you as well. Hope to
Bye.
see you soon. Happy
Yes,
holidays.
ma'am.
All right.
Happy
Bye
holidays
bye.
to you as well. Bye.
Bye bye.